Hey everyone, it's Heidi again with Hush Hush Magazine. I wanted to do a pretty quick, I guess, 2 month. I think it's been 2 months. 2 months, 2.5 months update. As you guys recall, I got Sisterlocks a few months ago because I was tired of dealing with my dry, crunchy 4D hair, and I saw a bunch of inspiration for microlocks and Sisterlocks and decided to try it out. So in this video, I'll talk to you about what it's been like having it for these first few months and what have been kind of like the highlights and the lowlights. So let's get into it. So I'll start with the number one highlight, which is obviously like one of the biggest reasons I got Sisterlocks to begin with. The number one highlight is that I don't really have to do anything with this hair, and it's amazing. Like, I just woke up a few hours ago, and I literally just have to take my fingers, run it through my hair like this to take out any potential like little knots. Or areas where it might have gotten tangled or kind of like started twisting up on each other. But besides that, that's pretty much it. I don't need a comb. I don't need a brush. I don't need to detangle the way that I used to. I'm not spending hours and hours every weekend or every other weekend trying to like do stuff to it. So it's been a huge time saver. And honestly, I feel like I just have so much more mental energy to dedicate to other things in my life, which has been awesome. And kind of related to that, I feel like I don't really have to worry ever too much about how I'm gonna look because I pretty much have like kind of like a fixed hairstyle. Like maybe sometimes I might part it in the middle versus the side, or sometimes I might kind of put it up. But besides that, I don't really have to worry like how it's gonna look. I know it's gonna look good, and so when it comes to work and turning on that video camera or calling my family and friends, joining into like a virtual birthday party, going out to meet up with people, like I can just throw on clothes and worry about how the clothes look and not worry about how my hair looks, which is super nice. The other thing that's been nice is I feel like I've been able to retain length a lot better. If you guys look in one of my former videos, when I first got my hair done, I had about 8 to 10 inches of hair, and I would say it was like right at the nape of my neck. I just got my third retie. I've been doing it every 4 weeks. Yesterday, and as you guys can see, my hair is definitely resting on my neck at this point, and so to be able to see that much growth in such a short period of time, like that's new for me because usually I have so much breakage that I don't really get to see it and enjoy it. And also, as you can see, if I actually pull it out, stretch it out, because, shrinkage and whatever, it's actually past my neck, which is also really cool to see. In the front, I feel like the growth honestly hasn't been that dramatic. I feel like my hair in the front has been about this long for, I don't know, most of the year. So I'll be more excited once it actually goes past my jaw and is longer than that. But yeah, being able to see the growth and watch it kind of like in real time and see changes in such short periods of time instead of having to wait 6 months or a year, that's been really, really awesome. What else? I've also saved money, I would say, definitely on hair products since I'm not having to use like a bunch of conditioner and shampoo and leave-in and all that kind of stuff. So that's also been really nice. Trying to think whether there are any other pros. I guess it's not really a pro of hair, of the hair, but since getting Sisterlocks, I've joined like different forums and Facebook groups where people talk about microlocks and Sisterlocks. And that's actually been really cool because I feel like throughout the experience from when I was considering getting it to now, it's really cool to have this huge community of Black women literally like all over the country and around the world who are all there literally like waiting to see you post whatever your next win or your next like concern or stress is, and everyone is so supportive of each other and so enthusiastic. And it's really cool to see that. I feel like there aren't always that many spaces where Black women are coming together and all kind of like giving each other positive vibes. And so that's also been kind of like a side cool thing that I didn't even know existed before. So I would say that those are probably all the highlights, and it's been like a really positive experience. And I would still definitely recommend it to other people who are considering doing it. Some of the lowlights is that number one, not so much that I expected my hair to change or be softer or be different, but it's kind of still tough to go online and see how other people's hair looks or moves. People that don't have 4D hair, how their hair is versus my hair is. I love the way my hair is looking and feeling, and it's been overall awesome. But I do definitely notice that other people's hair has more movement because their hair is either like, less kinky, coily, or just like less stiff or whatever you want to call it. As you can see with my hair, it kind of moves, but not really. Whereas there are definitely like a bunch of people that have way more movement in their hair. And I definitely attribute that to me having a 4D texture. And then also tied to that, my hair is definitely still like, I would describe it as like semi-dry. I think it's definitely not as dry as it used to be before I had it in locks, because at that point it used to almost feel like it was so dry that like if I move it the wrong way, like is it gonna like, I don't know, snap off or something bad will happen. So it definitely doesn't feel like that, but it's still definitely like your hair is not gonna come out feeling soft in this process. And I know that there are like a bunch of essential oils and other natural oils, and all sorts of sprays that like people are going to advertise to you for keeping your sister locks fresh. But at the end of the day, what I've found is that less is more, and you want to keep your routine as simple as possible. So in my case, I pretty much wash my hair, and then after I wash it, I put in coconut oil in the scalp and put a little bit in my hands and just kind of run it through my hair. And that's pretty much it. Like if in between washes, I wash once a week. So if at some point during the week my scalp feels a little bit dry or whatever, I might put a little extra oil or spray just a little bit of water. Don't go overboard. Then that's pretty much all I'll do, because I found that like going crazy with all this different stuff that people say that they're using, like that can sometimes do more harm than good, because you're just kind of overwhelming your scalp and your hair with a bunch of products. What else? Honestly, I think those are probably the main lowlights. I guess the only other thing that I'll point out is that getting reties done, I thought it was gonna be, how can I describe this? Like my head feels slightly tender after I get my locks retied. Like certain areas will feel a little bit tender. And I think that's because, as they're like looping the hair, they are kind of like pulling a little bit at your scalp. And so it makes sense. And I know a lot of people would just take an ibuprofen or whatever. It's definitely not so painful that I feel like I need an ibuprofen. But it's definitely noticeable. And it lasts for me like 2 to 3 days after the retie. And so, I don't know, it's just something that's kind of a little bit annoying, but it's not like a make or break it type of thing. So, yeah, I think those are like pretty much all the highlights and lowlights. The last thing I'll leave you guys with is I wrote an article on Hush Hush Mag about experiencing dry scalp when transitioning to locks or micro locks or sister locks, because I had that experience. I actually started to develop dandruff, which I never had before in my life. And I think there are a couple of things that potentially led to that, and I outline that in the article. So if that's something that you're experiencing or you're worried about, definitely check out the article, leave any comments or questions, and I can address those, because it definitely made the beginning of my Sisterlocks journey a lot more difficult, I would say, than it had to be, because I didn't recognize right off the bat what was going on. And it took me a while before I actually went to a dermatologist to get it diagnosed and treated. So now it's resolved, and so I'm chill, but I definitely was going a little bit crazy in the beginning trying to figure out, like, why is my scalp so itchy? Like, what is going on? And just trying to use all these different products and none of it working and wasting time and suffering for no reason. So don't do that. As soon as you have an issue, if it lasts for like a week, I'd say go get it checked out. You basically have nothing to lose. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I love my hair. I'm glad I made this change. My life is so much smoother and easier, and so highly encourage anyone with 4D hair or just hair they feel like, they've lost control of and lost hope of and are tired of spending products and money and getting all like exhausted and frustrated over it. Just go and get locks. Go get Microlocks, Sisterlocks, and just get some relief, especially during this pandemic when there are already so many things on your mind. I can't even explain to you guys how nice it is to not have this be one of my worries during this pandemic and these weird times. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. See you guys next time.